Time check on Tobago updates is brought to you by Flow, Tobago's newest fiber network.
This Christmas, speed is on us. Get up to 300 megabits per second of speed with our new Link Up Plus plan. Enjoy more speed, more channels, and free streaming for less. Plus, introducing Link Up More with up to 1 gig download speed. Download, stream, video calls, share memes, and more. Get free installation when you sign up in-store or online today at discoverflow.co.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. This is the day that the Lord has made and I will rejoice and be glad in it. It is December 7th, 2023 and I am your host, Adana Combi, and we're in studio this morning. And of course, it's a little bit overcast outside, but I am in this yellow dress because I'm hoping for a ray of sunshine today. Yes, I am. And I'm hoping it's going to be a nice, beautiful day for us to get all our Christmas things going. We are in the month of December and soon it is Christmas. Yes, soon it is Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, we're heading into the festivities early. We start in the parang start. Right, but before we get into all of those conversations, we're going to head on over to the news in 90 seconds, sponsored by B-Mobile.
Citizens Panthers, Plymouth Bethesda Steel Sensation, and CNB Crown Cordons. The preliminaries continue on Friday with Westside Symphony, Uptown Fascinators, Alpha Pan Pioneers, and All Boys. All bands are vying for a spot in the semi-finals scheduled for January 6, 2024. Businesswoman Rona Zamora Rodriguez, owner of Intimate Affairs, has sought guidance from a High Court judge on the Customs and Excise Division's recurrent seizures of adult sex toys. Rodriguez, who sued the division after several shipments were seized, requested a court order compelling the division to publish a policy on sex toy importation, arguing its absence was unlawful. Despite the return of most seized items, Rodriguez's attorneys urged the judge to address the broader issue, asserting that adult sex toys are not obscene. The judge directed submissions and adjourned the matter to January 15, 2024, noting a similar case involving Shanice Katek. CARICOM leaders, including Dr. Amory Brown, Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, are set to meet virtually today to address the Essequibo region situation in Guyana contested by Venezuela. Following Venezuela's recent referendum, President Nicolas Maduro proposed administrative control, oil exploration licenses, and a census in Essequibo. Brown affirmed ongoing communication with Guyana, Venezuela, and CARICOM members, emphasizing a unified stance. CARICOM advocates for adherence to international law, the International Court of Justice's jurisdiction, and the preservation of peace, territorial integrity, with an emergency session scheduled for today to address the issue. And that was your News in 90 Seconds, brought to you by B-Mobile. It's the Christmas season with B-Mobile.
News in 90 Seconds was brought to you by B-Mobile. It's a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
This Christmas we celebrating, cause B-Mobile they coming with rating. So brace yourself for plenty prizes, cause this season will be the nice. It's the most deals and the most vibes and the most cars and the most price. The most giveaways, the most para. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile. I want a Christmas season with B-Mobile. Bring the sorrel with us to a Merry Christmas. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
Top up, buy a plan, sign up or pay your bills. Enjoy the best Tobago Christmas. Be mobile. Life is on.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. It is December 7th, and yes, it's Christmas time. I'm thinking about the sorrel there. Just looking at the ad from B-Mobile, I'm thinking about that sorrel. I want to get some sorrel and ginger beer. And why don't you tell us what are your Christmas favorites? As you're coming in on the live this morning, Charlotte Ramsey Roberts, good morning. Ashton Bennett, good morning. All of our viewers out there, Lysel James, Carlene George, good morning. We want to know, what are your Christmas traditions? What are your Christmas favorites? I like me some sorrel. I love a nice strong sorrel. So let's get that conversation going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading on into the birthday segment today. And celebrating a birthday this morning, we have Lysel Smith. Lysel Smith, it is your birthday, and we want to wish you a happy birthday coming on from all of us here at Tobago Updates Television. We hope that you have a wonderful day, a beautiful celebration there for your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Next, it's Cassandra Thompson Forbes. Yes, it's her birthday today, and we want to wish you a happy birthday, Cassandra, coming on from all of us here at Tobago Updates Television. We pray God's blessings upon your life as you continue to walk in purpose, as you continue to do your thing. Happy birthday blessings to you, my dear. And rounding up the birthdays, it's my sister. Yes, that's my sis out there, Carlene George. Happy birthday to you, Carlene, the life of the party. We want to wish you the best birthday possible, my dear. We hope that you have a good day, a wonderful day, coming from me personally and my family, coming also from the family here at Tobago Updates Television. We hope you have a beautiful birthday. Happy birthday to you. All right, viewers, we're going to talk a little bit about who is on the show today. Who are we having conversations with today? What are we talking about? Well, we're going to be speaking with Ms. Verdine Williams. She's the Education Officer there at the Consumer Affairs Unit Division of Finance, Trade and the Economy. And as we know, it's Christmas time, so we're going to be talking about all the shopping that we're going to do, the do's and the don'ts. You know, as consumers, we have a right, so we're going to be speaking about those things that will guide you in your purchasing, your shopping this Christmas season. We're going to have that conversation. We also speak with Mr. Dedan Daniel. He is the chairman, Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program. And we're talking about Botanic Garden Christmas Glitz. Yes, that is coming up. That conversation is going to be had, all things Christmas. And then we wrap our conversation with Mr. Duvon Stewart. Yes, the man himself. He's a musician, panist, composer, and steel pan arranger. We all know that name. That is a household name here in Tobago, making making Tobago proud on an international stage, Mr. Juvon Stewart, and we're having the conversation about the man behind the music that's happening this evening. It premieres tonight, so we're going to be having that conversation as well, and that is what our conversation is going to look like today on the morning show. So we're asking, of course, for our viewers to stay with us as we bring this information to you, as we have conversations with you, as we talk about things that happen in and around Tobago at this time. Right, viewers, we're going to go for a short break before we start our conversations this morning, and this is your opportunity, of course, to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be back.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom, fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments, complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs. Carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
Suffering with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. We been drinking with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. Sign up now for 50% off plus a chance to win over $100,000 in prizes. Call 800-4663.
Don't be fearful or ignorant about diseases. The opportunity to learn how to effectively work with or even reverse sicknesses is here. Do you know someone that is suffering from an illness? You are invited to come and learn in this in-depth, hands-on training program. Call this number and reserve your space in this God-inspired, hands-on medical missionary training program going on in Tobago. See you there.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back, viewers, to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. I am your host, Adana Kumbi, and we're starting off our conversation this morning with Mr. Didan Daniel. He is the chairman of Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program, and we're talking about Botanic Gardens Christmas glitz. We know every Christmas there's something happening at the Botanical, so we're going to have that conversation with him this morning. Good morning, Mr. Daniel, and welcome.
Good morning, Adana, and thanks for having me on your set this morning.
Right, so we know the Botanic Gardens has to look beautiful at this festive time.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so we want to know, when is it happening? When can we bring out the children? When does it start? How long is it running for?
Okay, well, it starts tomorrow, actually. The lighting will start at 6 p.m. sharp, and the event will run until the 6th of January, filling out the whole calendar. It promises to be numerous days of glitz, of glamour, of fun and excitement, enchantment, every superlative you could think about that is, and it is good.
Right. And I see there's a calendar of events, so it's not just going to be a lighting up thing.
No,
it's not
at
just
all.
a light, you walk through, you see the lights, and that's it. There is a calendar of events,
Yes,
and
indeed.
there are things that are going to be taking place there. But before we talk about the items on the event, the calendar of events,
yes,
I want to know the genesis behind this idea. I know it's Christmas time, so it must be about Christmas cheer.
Well, we at Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program, the main reason why we're doing this is to engender a sense of community involvement and participation, also to give back to the community, right? We're more than just planting trees, right? So we did this to provide an opportunity for persons to come and enjoy the Christmas season, to be able to get goodies for the Christmas, to bring out the family, have some family entertainment, to create great memories. All of these reasons why we created this calendar of events.
Right, awesome. And you did say some goodies. So I know when there's an event, of course, there's vendors. So you're talking about opportunities for vendors.
Yes, indeed. Yes, we have our cadre of vendors already lined up, and we have room for more vendors. So persons who are interested, there are still a few spots available. Contact us at the Tobago Reforestation. You could do so by going on our Facebook page, and there's a link there for vendor registration. So we have a mix of vendors who will be providing a suite of different services and products. Would include food, eats, fun for the children, like bouncy castles. They're gonna be craft items, Christmas cakes, seasonings, a whole lot of things that you could enjoy. Craft items, decorative items, almost anything you could think about. There's a wide mix of products and services available for persons to purchase and enjoy.
Sounds like exciting stuff.
Yeah, man, it's really exciting.
There at the Botanic Gardens Christmas Glitz, and the first event we starting off on Friday, of course, with the opening ceremony, which is always so grand.
Yes,
you know, it's always so grand and engaging. You know, we bring out the children and we have a good time. So tell us what can we look forward to at the opening tomorrow night?
So tomorrow night is at 6. We're going to be starting the lighting. We're going to have our little session to commemorate the start, just a little before the event, and with the grand lighting up, which I promise is going to be glitzy and glamorous. Mark my words, a lighting like you have never seen before. And we promise to be perhaps the best lighting up venue in Tobago in 2023.
Okay, I'm holding you guys to that.
Yes, indeed. All right. The guys at the electrical unit of the PIU out of the division, Mr. Busby and his team are doing a fantastic job working through the night to make sure that we have a grand glitzy experience come from tomorrow. So they're gonna start with the official lighting up ceremony, and thereafter from 6 p.m. until about 10 in the night, they're gonna be a host of events to entertain persons the patrons who will pass through the gardens.
Right, this sounds so good. And you know, the thing about Christmas is about the lights. For me, I love to see the lights. You know, even if you just only have lights alone on your tree without the balls and the tinsel and all like that, the lights do it for me.
Yes, the lights are quite spectacular. There are also some fixtures and so on that are special attractions. Like you could come and take photos to create memories. You could take pictures with Santas. There are cutouts where you could, with a backdrop that you could take photos. Children could do it as well, and capture some beautiful memories.
Right, and I'm seeing here on the calendar of events, there's stuff like Christmas movies.
Yes.
Storytelling. Parang, dance. I mean, this is just too much. It's just too much. Like, how are we going to do all that?
I'm telling you, we're looking to deliver to the people. We celebrating people, we engendering community spirit, the surrounding community, Bagatelle, Bacalet, Scarborough and environs, is all to engender community participation, as I mentioned before, and really share in the Christmas spirit, a really nice, authentic Tobago Christmas experience.
And it's like you have something for everybody. So those who want to come and dance, they have the night of dance, then you have the night of the movies, you have the storytelling for the children.
Yes, that promises to be grand.
So everything just sounds so very engaging, and I'm happy that there's actually activities taking place rather than just walking through for the lights up. So it's almost like every night there's something happening there at the Botanic Gardens for the Christmas Glitz.
Yes.
Which event you most looking forward to?
the movies bring back a sense of nostalgia, you know, around Christmas time, you know, you always gather with the family to watch your classical Christmas movies. So they will be on feature. The dancing events will be really good. We have Dance Ensemble, let's drop in some names. Dance Ensemble, who are going to be having Dancing Under the Stars. We have Panis, who are going to be doing their thing. Also folk groups, parent groups, people who doing bouncy castles, they do works, right? And I should mention that we have some headline sponsors like Amplayer and B-Mobile who will be given a special treat on during the events, right? With their own lighting display and so on, an opportunity for corporate branding, and we encourage other persons, other corporate entities. I'm calling out Digicel. You can't have TSTT take all the limelight, so Digicel team, call us and see how you could be part of the merriment that is the Botanics Christmas Glitz.
Of course, spreading Christmas joy, the corporate responsibility to help.
Yes, indeed.
You know, and this event, this calendar of events provides an opportunity, as I said, for community. It also provides a space for people who don't have anything outside of this. Because Christmas is a time, I always say to people, Christmas is a time, it's good for some who have family and friends and food and drink and all the merriment at home, but it could also be depressing for those who don't have. So this is an opportunity for those who have less than to come out and participate and enjoy. I'm sure it's free.
Well, not all events are free. So for children under the age of 3, it's free, but we're charging a modest entry fee of $5 for children and $10 for adults.
Almost free.
And you mentioned something that is important. So persons who don't have families and so on, we provide a venue where you can have an extended family. Persons from the community will come. I'm sure you're going to meet friends and maybe family members who you could enjoy some merriment. Whether it be dancing, whether it be enjoying the parang, the different singing, the storytelling, and create a whole family atmosphere at the space so that you could enjoy it.
Yes, and that is what it's all about. That's what Christmas is about, bringing people together, you know, and giving thanks for making it to the end of the year, you know, just celebrating your life, celebrating, you know, family, friends, togetherness, and all the fun times and stuff like that. So I want to commend this unit for hosting this event. And as I said, not just having the lighting, but actually having things that are engaging. So different cross sections of the community. You have stuff for the young children. You have stuff for people like me. You have stuff for people like my parents. You have stuff for people like my grandparents if they were here. You know, so I really appreciate the mix of all that is happening. And I'm most looking forward to the food.
Yes, oh gosh, you're gonna get a lot of drinks and food. You're gonna get your punch of cream, your black cake, sponge cake, a whole lot of nice little Christmas goodies.
And shop. I mean, we could have them as for shopping in terms of I could buy a bottle of punch of cream and carry too.
Yes, indeed.
Right.
So we have a mix of vendors there. So far,
all local
who will be coming in and selling their goods. So again, it creates an opportunity for them to make a little dollar during the Christmas.
That's right.
So it's holistic, well thought out, and to bring benefit to all, whether you're a patron or a vendor or a corporate entity.
And you sound very excited about this.
Gosh, yeah, man.
You sound so
really
excited.
Excited. I'm really like to commend the hard work of the team. Kelly, Ryan, Naya, Afi, who else? Christelle, Chantel, everyone on the staff of the TRWRP for putting in the hours during the night when most persons are sleeping to make this thing happen.
Of course, appreciation is a must. Yes, so going out to the staff, congratulations.
Good. And again, I'll just mention Busby and his electrical team, again, for working really good. Robert DeMatos from the forestry department for the cooperation and coordination in making this thing happen. So thanks to all those involved so far for making this thing happen.
Right, and thank you so much for bringing this Christmas chair to all of us, and something to look forward to. I know, next time. You know, and for bringing this Christmas chair and this hope for this season, of course, that we can engage in something that is, you know, to lift our spirits at the end of the year. So we thank you so much, Mr. Daniel. We've been speaking with Mr. Dean and Daniel this morning about the Botanic Christmas Glitz that is beginning tomorrow night. Yes, it's starting tomorrow night there at the Botanical Gardens, the lighting up of the tree, and of course, all the events that come with it as well. The entrance is $10 for adults and $5 for children. Very, very modest modest fee, if you ask me. And I think it's something worthwhile. There's a night market, food, parang, live entertainment, bouncy castles, and most importantly, family fun and an opportunity for communities to come together. You might not have seen your auntie or your uncle or your nenen from how far for so long. This is an opportunity for you all to get together and enjoy what is happening there at the Botanics for the Christmas glitz. So I'm hoping to see you guys there. I'll be there, if not every night, at least some of the nights, to participate in the events that are taking place. That's right, taking place there. So thank you so much, Mr. Daniel, for joining us on the show this morning and bringing that information to us. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, we're going to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio with our guest. And we want to say this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be back.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McAl Group.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
The Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development has relocated its Crown Point office to Glen Road in Scarborough to better serve you, our clients. Our main office is located at the corner of Glen Road and Glen Road Branch Number 1, the building formerly occupied by Coastal. Our grant and electrical inspectorate services can be accessed at Number 2 Montessori Drive in Glen Road, Building 1 and 2.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. I am your host, Adana Kambi, and we continue conversation in studio with our guest, and we are speaking with Ms. Verdine Williams. She is the Education Officer there at the Consumer Affairs Division Unit at the Division of Finance, Trade and the Economy. It is Christmas time, so of course Consumer Affairs Unit is going to be part of our conversation. We know we love to do a lot of shopping around Christmas time. We buy lights, we buy trees, we buy appliances, we buy furniture, we buy all sorts of stuff. So we're going to have a conversation this morning that would guide our shopping when we are doing our mass shopping for Christmas this year. And we're speaking with Ms. Verdine Williams. Good morning and welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me. Yes, this is Christmas time, and this is the time when consumers or persons really spend most money once they're into the Christmas celebration. And as you rightfully said, we want to guide them a bit. So I want to speak a bit about how the process that they should follow. And we advise consumers that you should be making a budget. That's the first thing you want to do. You make a budget, right? And you're not just budgeting for the food item. if you decide to change some furniture in the home, you need to make a budget for that also. When you're budgeting for the food item, you should also budget for your drinks. Once you're having drinks, budget for the meats, budget for what you're going to be spending in the market, for your vegetables and stuff like that. Once you have your budget down, this is it, this is what you're working with. You don't make it so tight that you can't, shift a little in it. Because these days when you go to the grocery, you find that the prices are just, they're not dropping, they're just rising, right?
Yeah, so that's right.
Once you can afford it, you try to make the budget not too tight where you become so stifled that you start to get frustrated with the whole Christmas process, that you can't get this and you can't get that once you can afford it. Now, in making the budget, it also means that you would have to look at areas where you can cut back. Instead of buying 5 pounds of meat or 5 pounds of fish, you might have to look at buying 3. And you might have to look at putting some peas with that in order to make sure you get the full amount of protein, the family get the full amount of protein. So those are the things we want to guide consumers to do. Now that you have the budget set, you know how much money you're working with. This is where the ladies who have a spouse to lean on.
Gosh, oh gosh.
You will tell them beforehand that you want this amount of money. We would like to work with this amount of money, so you know what you're working with and you put in your part, right? So we finish with the budget. We go into the list. You make lists for everything. Ladies, we have a habit of making a list, and we go into the grocery, and the list is at the bottom of your purse. Yes. And we are doing all this shopping, and we never look at the list yet. And when we get home, we're going to see that we purchased things that we didn't really want, or we could have done without, and the things that we really need to get, we didn't buy it. So we are asking you to make the list. We have our phones. Those of us who are inclined that way, make your list on your phone. Usually your phone is in your hands anyhow. Make your list on your phones, and always remember to check the list and make sure that you are purchasing what you want to purchase. It might be a good idea to put, once you can do it, put the quantity from the budget that you want to spend on that particular item and try to stick to it, because we need to remember that after the Christmas season is finished, they say it finished about the 6th of January, and they said January is like about 3 to 4 months long. So we need to look at that. So you have your list, you work with your list, and you have lists for everything. Just as we ask you to do budgets for everything, we ask you to do lists for everything. So you're going to look at lists for, if you're going to paint over, what paint you want to use, or how much gallons of paint you need to get. By the way, I think we're kind of late for that, So let me just look at the food item, right?
Right.
So you look at your list for your food item, you look at the list for the marketplace, you look at the list for all these areas, and you do that. Besides the list, we want to also talk about receipts. This is what you were mentioning earlier in terms of returns. In case you purchase an item that is not up to the standard that you want it to be, you need to take it back to the business place if it's not working because of a manufacturer defect. Not because of something that you may have done to it. So you need to keep your receipts, and we advise you to keep your receipts for at least 3 months. Right? Especially if it's like gift items you would have purchased, because we don't know, you may not have opened the gift item
at the same time, right?
Right, and then you give it to the recipient, and when they get it, it's not working properly because of a manufacturer defect. So you would want to take that back, and it's a good idea to write the name of the person who you would have given that gift item to the back of the receipt, so you're not going to get confused. You're not going to be confusing yourself when you have like a shoebox, or you have a special bag, or a special purse, somewhere special to store all these receipts so that you can get them when you're ready for them, because we know how we can get flustered when we're looking for something and we know we put it by A and it end up by B and it's not us who put it there.
That's right.
So we're going to make sure that we keep our receipts for at least 3 months' time so we can get back to them. Another thing we want us to look at is when we're shopping for the Christmas lights. I heard yesterday where someone was saying going around to different villages and looking at lights and things. That's something my family and I do. It's a beautiful experience.
Yes, you were just talking about that in the previous conversation.
Okay, so you see,
lighting, yes.
When you're purchasing the lights, we need to be careful in this area, because sometimes we have lights that are coming out around this time that are not up to standard or are not safe to be using. So when you're purchasing a light, make sure that the lights have a UL or FM label stamped on the light. That means it was verified by certain labs that it's good for use. And keep in mind there are also indoor and outdoor lights. So the indoor lights, you would not want to put them outdoor because they would not be able to stand the elements. Now, their lights can be used both indoor and outdoor. So if you get those might be better. So when you're getting the lights now, you make sure that it's stamped with the relevant UL or FM label.
UL or FM?
Yes, UL or FM. That means a specified lab would have certified that these are safe for using, right? When you're stringing the lights now, you try not to string more than 3 lights, 3 cord of lights or 3 length of lights. Don't go above that because you're now putting it on a strain, and the TNTech colleagues or TNTech friends would tell us that that's not safe. It can cause fire. It's a hazard.
That's right.
So you don't want to do that. If you're like me, you're not buying any new lights this year. You're going to be reusing lights. So we want to inspect the lights. You're going to inspect for the cords that may be cracked or bulbs that may have fall out from the string. You're going to inspect to make sure it's good to use, because you don't want to use these lights and now looking all pretty and nice and everything blocked.
That's right. But the thing about it, right, these things sound so perfect and so ideal. But for the person who is in a last minute rush, Christmas Eve night, you know, looking to pull a string of lights. People don't have time to inspect this. So we really want to pay attention, listeners. We want to pay attention to our lights. Even if you are in a rush and you're doing it on Christmas Eve night, spend 5 extra minutes.
Yes.
Check in to ensure that your lights, because we want to avoid all hazards. We want to avoid all
as much as possible.
We don't want to put strain on other like TNTech and the fire department and all these things.
And we don't want to lose our homes.
We don't want to lose our homes. We don't want to lose our valuables, and we don't want to lose our lives, most importantly. So take the time. Take the time. And I just want to put a plug. One of our viewers here this morning, as you were talking about the budget, she said, yes, make a budget. This is Lisa Frank Phillips. Make a budget. So she's in agreement.
Yes, Lisa, we need to make those budgets. And stick to them, please. Stick to them. So with the lights, we continue a bit with the lights. Now there are some really fancy looking lights that bubbles. They look so pretty. We need to be careful when we have young children in our homes when we're using those lights, because just as it's attractive to us, it's also attractive, even more attractive to them. And they can look to take these lights and to place into their mouths and stuff like that. So we need to be careful with that. One of the nicest or the prettiest sights that we can see is these decorative lights in darkness.
Yes.
They look so good. You get a full view of the lights, a full experience.
Yes.
But
I know there was a but.
We are asking you, we know they look the best then, but we are asking when you go to bed, take off your lights. Because they can still be a hazard. So we don't want to leave them on when we go into bed or when we are not at home. Take off your lights, please. So let us enjoy the lights while we are up. We could take off all the lights in the house and enjoy the darkness with the lights looking all pretty, but just don't be asleep. And keep in mind, we are trying to conserve. As of January, we conserve electricity.
Yes, that's right.
So we need to do that. Take off these lights, keep these lights off when we are in bed or when we are not at home. So that's it for the lights. Now there's a pet area that is so popular right now. I want to delve into a bit. That's online shopping. We got a call. I took a call earlier this week with someone who purchased a wig. It was a wig online, one of those Instagram shops. And there's concerns about the wig now. The wig came too late. I think the original wig they got couldn't fit. And based on what the supplier would have said, it wasn't the appropriate wig. And so they were trying to get it changed. But when this new wig come now, because the supplier said they would change it, the event for the wig would have passed.
Right.
So the consumer now wants back their money because they now have to go and purchase a wig elsewhere. We need to let consumers know. You see the online shopping? Our regulations that really protect consumers when they are shopping are already very archaic. They are extremely old, extremely old. They are not providing for the comfort or for the protection that consumers need currently in these modern times, much less with online shopping. We have no regulations that would be able to guide consumers as how to take care of yourself except with common sense when you're shopping online. Because when you're shopping online, you can't go in to try on the item you are purchasing, right? So what you have to do in this case, you need to go to the website, research the websites, research the Instagram shops, talk to persons who would have probably purchased there. Or if it's on like the international websites, you can go on to check for persons who would have purchased. Check for reviews on items. And when you're checking for reviews on these items, you know, sometimes the suppliers would pay people to write a review. So you need to look for the specific word verified purchaser to make sure it's somebody who purchased. We don't know, they could still be not being honest, but at least we're getting that comfort that saying that somebody is a verified purchaser who purchased this item. And don't just take one person's view. Now, shopping online is extremely tiresome.
And it is also risky because, as you said, you see something online, you see a photo of something, and then when it arrives in your package, it's something completely. We've seen videos all over social media. Just this morning, in fact, I was looking at a young lady who ordered a dress online, a gold dress, and when it came, it was bright yellow. It was a different style, so you see? Awkward fit. So it really is risky business shopping online.
Risky. And this is where consumer affairs come in. We can't protect you in terms of trying to get redress for you, especially if it's an international supplier. So you have to, when you're doing this shopping, know that you're shopping at your own risk. And you have to try your best to shop at the more established places. Don't try to go for those new ones that look all bright and attractive. The more established places would quicker give you some form of redress, where they would probably send another item for you. Because I've had experiences where I would have purchased online and the item didn't come, and I would just reach out to the company and let them know as recent as about a month ago, and they would have told me that my package was lost, and they sent it back for me. So you need to look at the more established places.
As being able to track your packages, as you
must be able to track your packages, because you have to, as I said, shopping online it's a lot of work as compared to shopping online, as my sister would say. Shopping online, it's a lot of work because you need to take time to sit down and research the business place, research to see, read reviews to see purchasers, what they would have said about the items that they purchase, and you also need to shop around. You can't just decide that my friend said that they purchased this here, or this looks pretty, that I'm going to purchase it there. You need to shop around the same way we advise consumers to shop around when they're purchasing online, shop around when they're purchasing online also.
Some people see the online as a convenience. For me, it has been a convenience for a lot of things, but as you said, there's also the balance. It is a convenience, but you also have to do your research to ensure the product you're purchasing is, what you expect when the package arrives. Right? So yes, I totally agree.
It's a lot of work. And because it's such a convenience, you may find persons who would be shopping at Wi-Fi hotspots. We advise that consumers don't do that. You go to a Wi-Fi hotspot and you're shopping. Don't do that unless you have a VPN. That's a virtual private network. That's your private network that no one have access to, so they can't see your IP address. They can't steal your information. So avoid shopping on Wi-Fi hotspots, and if your network is not secure, you need to make sure your network is secure, or your devices that you're using are secured, so that persons can't get to them. You're seeing so much of, I think it's phishing or malware taking place right now. For instance, when it was Black Friday, I was constantly getting this bombardment that my Prime membership was up and I need to renew it, but I know it wasn't. So then I wouldn't have clicked on that. So just try your best to report it, to let them know that somebody's trying to get your information. So we had to be so vigilant when you're shopping online. And sometimes these persons would actually call you and they ask you for your personal information. Well, I think this is all news by now.
I think so.
Don't give that out at all.
I would think so.
This is all news. So don't do that. Now, some of the other things you need to look for when you're shopping online, you look for safety mechanism or safety signs, as a closed padlock for the website. A closed padlock indicate that it is safe. You look for the HTTPS with the two little dots, I think it's a semicolon, you call that. You look for that. That's another safety mechanism to show that the website is safe. So you need to look at all those things. That's it with the online shopping. Shopping early. Christmas time for a lot of persons is about shopping. But we want to shop early also.
So that you don't get flustered and just grab anything.
Now, I love the atmosphere. It's just seeing persons so happy and rushed, and it's a heady feeling for me. It's really nice. But then what I would advise persons to do, although I love that atmosphere, I don't shop then. I would have shopped earlier. Once I'm shopping, I would have shopped earlier, and then I just go to absorb the atmosphere.
So you see what happens when you have the expertise and all the information? You make clever decisions. You shop already, but because you love the atmosphere, you're just going out to see people shop and just to feel the festivities.
It's a great feeling. It's wonderful.
That's good advice.
You shop early. You shop earlier. And when you're shopping earlier, you shop earlier in terms of the days. Now, you also shop earlier in terms of the time. of the day. So you try to do your shopping when the crowd isn't there, like early in the morning. I can't even say early in the afternoon again, because persons are trying to fit in the shopping is best when it's best suited for them. So try to shop us at a time when your specific shopping places, be it the grocery or the furniture places, wouldn't have that crowd. Another thing that is enjoyable about shopping earlier is that the staff is not as rushed, and they are not as pressed, and they are not as frustrated. So they give you more attention, and they are more relaxed, so they can help you more, and they can smile more with you. And when they smile more with you, you smile more with them, and you get better services.
And you spend more.
That's part of it. That is part of it. You know, just sharing this with you. Have you ever noticed there are some business places when you're shopping, they would have beautiful music, relaxing music. This is just a tidbit for the consumers. The slower the music, the slower you take your time and browse, and the more you tend to spend. A simple thing as what they have on the floor. Some business places may have like a softest floor finish. The softer the floor finish, the slower you browse, the more money you spend.
It's a psychology behind everything.
Yes, it is. So when the music, you find the music might be a bit upbeat. It sounds good upbeat, but then that could get, oh no, this again, business persons a bit of a hint too. That could get the persons out of the business places too fast.
Right.
So I realize that we are running out of time. Let me just make a quick more notes of some things that I want in this area that consumers are having a lot of concerns about. You see warranty and guarantee when you purchase your furniture and appliances. You need to ask the business person, ask the person who is attending to you about warranty or guarantee on the item. Now, I know I would have said to consumers previously, try to avoid buying the extended warranty because sometimes the item you're purchasing, if it's going to go bad, it's going to go bad within the manufacturer's warranty period. But what we are seeing now, a lot of items that persons are purchasing, just as the warranty period end, the manufacturer warranty period end, they go bad.
I've had that experience.
Right. So persons may have to look at now taking that extended warranty for their own peace of mind and comfort, knowing that when the manufacturer warranty has stopped, they would have purchased an extended warranty. That could help them now because they would have purchased the item on higher purchase. If you purchase your item cash, I would not advise you to buy the extended warranty, but that choice is still yours to use, right? Now, you need to also ask about the full extent of the warranty. Is it a full warranty? Is it partial? Is it limited? Keep in mind that persons use the word warranty or guarantee interchangeably.
That's right.
Right? So they can work either way. Now, an express warranty means that if you bought a phone to make calls, it can make call. That's expressed. That's understood. Right? But other warranties, try to get it in writing so that you know what your item is protected against, what you're covered for. I hope that helped your consumers today.
Yes, I mean, the conversation was engaging and interesting. I learned some things, and I mean, the warranty aspect of it especially is very, very important for us to know. And of course, keeping your receipts, and you gave us a very good idea when you're buying gifts to write the name of the person you're giving the gift to behind the receipt should it go bad, and to keep it for up to 3 months. So that was very, very good information. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Ms. Verdine Williams of the Consumer Affairs Unit there at the Division of Finance, bringing some information and some tips and guidelines as we prepare for our shopping for Christmas 2023 and even beyond. These are tips that you can carry into your day-to-day shopping, your online shopping, your on-land shopping, as she made reference to. Be very alert when you're shopping online. Ensure that you're using a secure Wi-Fi network or system, and just be safe, be vigilant. Use the wise hours to shop, early morning rather than late evening. meeting and stuff like that. So we want to thank you very much for coming in this morning and shedding some light and reminding us of how vigilant we need to be with our pennies, of course, making our budget and sticking to it, which is one of the most difficult things.
Yes, it is.
Especially for women when we see all these nice things around Christmas time. But you know, it's very important that we maintain our budget because we don't want to go wild and then January morning we all suffer. You know, so thank you so much for bringing that insight to us. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you take this advice on board as you go out there shopping. Be safe, be vigilant, and purchase only the things you have budgeted for and that you have on your list. Thank you so much. Of course, viewers, we're going to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio with our guest. And of course, before we go, we're going to invite you, and I want you to join me to ask our viewers to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Hey, hello guys, welcome. Come have a seat. Oh, this is so stylish and I love the fabric. Darlings, you must tell us where you got your new furnishings.
We got them locally at Standard. They've got new chic European furniture, crafted from high quality material.
Oh, Standard?
No, it's Standard, their brand new Hive collection.
Experience luxurious European furniture at a price you will love. The Hive collection. Now exclusively available at Standard.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back, viewers, to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adana Kumbi, and we continue conversations this morning. But before we head on into our conversation, I'd just like to say good morning to a few of our viewers online. Mr. Newton George, we see you there. Lisa Frank Phillips, Pearl Murray Beard, a loyal viewer. Glory Alec, Pearl Duke. Oh, good morning, and thank you so much for choosing the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. Right, viewers, we're going to have this conversation this morning with the man behind the music. His name is Duvon Stewart, and we want to talk about what is happening this evening, where he is at, and all that we can expect coming from him this morning. Good morning, Mr. Stewart, and welcome, Duvon.
Good morning to you. How are you doing, man?
Right, it's always a pleasure speaking with you. It's always, good to hear what's happening in your neck of the woods, and of course an exciting time happening right now, especially on the island of Tobago. We're so grateful for what is happening this evening. So we want to talk a little bit about your journey and what we can expect this evening.
Well, this afternoon at the Show Park Cultural Complex at the auditorium, the documentary Duvon Stewart, The Man Behind the Music, will be premiering tonight at 6:30 under the auspicious attendance of Chief Secretary for the Augustus, Mr. Mark Kwan, who is the executive producer of the documentary, videographer Ms. Maria Nunes, and yours truly, Devon Stewart, will be there to bring back what was being something destined for me for the past 40 years, which is now being documented. I'm glad and I'm proud. I'm happy to be alive to see something like this unfold, so that the generation that I was around and the new generation to come, and even the old folks that have been supporting me for all these years, could get to see the man behind the music, the man behind the scenes, to see everything unfold in video and in film.
And we too here in Tobago are very, very proud of you. You've been putting Tobago on the map on an international stage, and we want to thank you for that. And you said 40 years. 40 years of music. Ever since I'm coming up as a child, I've known the name Devon Stewart. Right, I've known that name, so it's my whole life I've heard the name Devon Stewart, and it really is a proud moment where we can actually, and I love to embrace people while they are still with us, and I'm very, very, I'm happy and I'm fortunate to be here to witness this documentary that is going to be launching, premiering this evening at the Shore Park Complex, and I will talk about your journey to get to there. If you want to give us a little snippet of, the things that you encountered before you got to this place, the things that took you to this place in terms of maybe your support, some of your challenges, and the things that sort of centered you to be the man that you are behind the music.
A lot has been done. A lot of challenges was before me, around me, with me to overcome all the obstacles to be as successful as I am right now. And, sometimes you need to feel the pain and the sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you, As God says in Jeremiah, I know the plan I have for you, the plans to prosper you, not to harm you, but the plans to give you hope and the future. And living with these words in my mind for the length of time I've been doing my craft, I have been able to overcome all the obstacles to be the successful individual that I am right now, and I owe it all to the people of Tobago, to the point where, as the old people say, never dam the bridge that you cross to reach where you reach. And I'm very, very thankful and honored to be amongst these 60,000 people when I was a young kid coming from Wilson Road with my dad, being around the Trinidad Tobago All-Star Steel Orchestra, being around the late great Mrs. Gwyneth Armstrong, all my school friends and my school teachers, my friends and my peers, being around many bands in Tobago that saw the greatness that was embedded in me, and to always be that face, that individual, to give them a sense of hope that somebody from the island has now been added towards what greatness could be done to make the people of Tobago feel proud. I feel very happy to be in the likes where my name could be called along amongst Mr. Dwight York, Ms. McCarthy Lewis, Ms. Lipsa Rose, Lord Nelson, and the list goes on. And coming from Tobago and my name being added on that list, I'm very, very happy and very, very proud to be the individual that I am. A lot of challenges came with it, and I can safely say one of the biggest challenge that came to me was being a son of the soil from Tobago and going to Trinidad to overcome all these lions and piranhas that were around, just to try to detract you, not to make you feel that you are worthy of doing great things. But no two people on this planet Earth is the same. And what was set out for me to do, I believe I did it to the best of my ability. And wherever I've been, maybe regionally or internationally, Tobago has always been in my heart. And I will always try to be that role model, that leader, that motivational, inspirational, humble individual to see, to have, and to continue bring that love and camaraderie and togetherness for the young ones coming up, because I want to see the next Devon Stewart in the steel pan fraternity out of Tobago, and I'm seeing it. And I want to say congratulations to the champion arranger O.J. Richards and champion arranger Chris Ramsey, Gerard Balfour, Leandro Nori, Shaquille Brooms, and the list goes on, you know. And congratulations to all the steel pan women and men who are playing with their various bands that participate in playing with the instrument to the point where they have been coming to Trinidad and making themselves feel worthy of being along the top-notch steel bands and steel pan players here in Trinidad and throughout the world. And they are doing great. And if I am a part of contributing that engine and making it being emotional that they could go forward, I want to say thanks to them for supporting Devon Stewart along the way.
Of course, and a proud moment, Devon. And what I admire about you is your humility and the fact that you always find your way back to Trinidad and Tobago, specifically Tobago, to assist and to inject your talent into the upcoming talent. And kudos to you for calling out the ones who are shining now. We're talking about Kirsch Ramsey and O.J. Richards and these guys. You know, every time I speak to you, I acknowledge these guys, and I want to say thank you so much for, you know, spreading that camaraderie, you know, and for appreciating their efforts and seeing their talent and seeing their gift, and of course wanting to develop another Devon Stewart, another person who could stand on the map, represent Tobago on the map on an international scale. So we want to thank you so much. And I just want to remind viewers, what time does the event begin this evening? Where is it taking place and stuff like that?
The event is this afternoon, December 7th at 6:30 p.m. sharp. It's going to start at 6:30 p.m. sharp at the Thor Park Cultural Complex Auditorium. Patrons are asked to be seated by 6 p.m. It's free to the whole of Tobago. It's free. So come out in your numbers and enjoy and witness the documentary, The Man Behind the Music, Devon Stewart.
Wow, this is not something you want to miss.
Yeah, and I just
something you want to miss. So I want to encourage all of our viewers. You know, this is something. I mean, I'm getting the chills, my paws raising just talking about this. You know, I am definitely going to be very present there, and I want to encourage all of our viewers to come out and show support, show that love that we have for each other here in Tobago as we see one of our own stars rise, even as he gives back to our communities here in Tobago, and he gives support to those that are upcoming. So that's happening this afternoon, 6:30 p.m. at the Shore Park Complex. Admission is absolutely free. We're asking that you are seated by 6 p.m. to enjoy this program this evening. So, Devon, we want to say thank you so much. We want to say thank you, not only for being on the program this morning.
Yeah, I just want to make one final mention to everybody. I haven't seen the documentary. I haven't seen it. So whilst I sit in the auditorium with everybody, I will be just as you, eager to see what is being unfolded with the artistry and the mindset and the professionalism of Mr. Mark Luquan. I want to say thanks very much for him in believing in me and in having this documentary become possible. Thanks to Miss Maria Nunes. Thanks to everybody behind the scene who has made this a successful one for me. You know, so this is something that will live on for a lifetime. It will always be there for people to go back to see what Devon Stewart has done. And just a word of advice to everybody, to the young ones coming up. And I don't know what the future holds for them and for anybody, but if you're willing to take the hard way, the more complicated ones, or the ones that make you more with failures at first than successes. The one that has ultimately proven that giving you the meanings of being victorious, being glorified, and at the end of the day, you wouldn't regret it because it's our time now to shine. Tobago is our time now to shine.
That's right. And viewers, just in case you want to know what is happening later, we're going to give you a little sneak peek of what you can expect this evening.
Call Renegades as the band. How are they going to do this thing? They had their little huddle meetings, little conversation without me hearing. What do you want to be when you grow up? You want to be a steel pan player, musician. So all the emphasis and support from the family, from Granny, big auntie, big uncle was just seeing Devon Stewart flourish.
And there you have it, viewers, a taste of what is to come this evening, 6:30 p.m. there at the Shore Park Complex, as we talk about that man behind the music. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we end the morning show today on Tobago Updates Television, but our programming continues. We're going to head on over to GMT this morning with Natalie Seeley Richardson, so we ask you to stay with us as we continue our programming, and this, of course, is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live. Thank you so much.
Time check on Tobago Updates is brought to you by Flow, Tobago's newest fiber network.
This Christmas, speed is on us. Get up to 300 megabits per second of speed with our new Link Up Plus plan. Enjoy more speed, more channels, and free streaming for less. Plus, introducing Link Up More with up to 1 gig download speed. Download, stream, video call, share memes, and more. Get free installation when you sign up in-store online today at discoverflow.co.
Welcome to Venebois. We are having our wine tasting this evening, and it's a chance for the students to really showcase the skills that they're learning here at the Institute and put them into practice. So this lovely ambience has been created by the students with the guidance of head chef Sonia Phillip and the rest of the team. They have been crafting a menu to pair with the wines. It is one of the series in our international cuisine course, and there are more events to come, culminating in our brunch, which is held early in December. So stay tuned.
So we have a number of finger foods that we have on display from the two continents, Africa and Asia. There are a few more student dinners coming in the months of November and December. You can come and give us your support. Your support will be well appreciated, the students, to taste our hands and taste what we have been learning to create.
And as you can see, it's a lovely evening, and we're actually looking forward to many more evenings like this. I'd like to see corporate Tobago get involved. I'd like to see industry stakeholders get involved and support these students as we invest in the future of tourism and hospitality on the island.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun.
Good morning and welcome. You are viewing Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Of course, I'm happy you stayed with us. Some of you probably are now joining us, and we really want to welcome you this morning. Of course, we have a exciting lineup this morning. As usual, we would be speaking to a correspondent out of Guyana. We all know what's happening there, and we have two other guests who will join us later. And I am Natalie Seeley Richardson, and it's a pleasure to be spending part of your morning with you today. So again, you are viewing Good Morning Tobago, and we are coming from the greatest little island on the planet. Let's go to Ariana for news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Natalie. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Thursday, 7th December 2023, brought to you by B-Mobile. It's a Christmas season with B-Mobile. The preliminaries for Pan-Trinbago Small Band Competition are ready to kick off tonight in Tobago. Starting with the new East Side Dimension in Bell Garden, judges will also be visiting the Pan Theatres of First Citizens Panthers, Plymouth Bethesda Steel Sensation, and C&B Crown Cordons. The preliminaries continue on Friday with West Side Symphony, Uptown Fascinators, Alpha Pan Pioneers, and All Boys. All bands are vying for a spot in the semi-finals scheduled for January 6, 2024. Businesswoman Rona Zamora Rodriguez, owner of Intimate Affairs, has sought guidance from a High Court judge on the Customs and Excise Division's recurrent seizure of adult sex toys. Rodriguez, who sued the division after several shipments were seized, requested a court order compelling the division to publish a policy on sex toy importation, arguing its absence was unlawful. Despite the return of most seized items, Rodriguez's attorneys urged the judge to address the broader issue, asserting that adult toys are not obscene. The judge directed submissions and adjourned the matter to January 15, 2024, noting a similar case involving Shanice Katek. CARICOM leaders, including Dr. Amory Brown, Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, are set to meet virtually today to address the Essequibo region's situation in Guyana, contested by Venezuela. Following Venezuela's recent referendum, President Nicolas Maduro proposed administrative control, oil exploration licenses, and a census in Essequibo. Brown affirmed ongoing communication with Guyana, Venezuela, and CARICOM members, emphasizing a unified stance. CARICOM advocates for adherence to international law, the International Court of Justice's jurisdiction, and the preservation of peace. Territorial integrity, with an emergency session scheduled for today to address the issue. And that was your news in 90 seconds, brought to you by B-Mobile. It's a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
News in 90 seconds was brought to you by B-Mobile. It's a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
This Christmas we celebrate it, cause B-Mobile they come with rating. So brace yourself for plenty prizes, cause this season will be the nice day. It's the most deals and the most vibes and the most cars and the most price, the most giveaways, the most para. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile. I want a Christmas season with B-Mobile. Bring the sorrel with us to a Merry Christmas. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
Top up, buy a plan, sign up or pay your bills. Enjoy the best Trinbago Christmas. B-Mobile. Life is on.
Thank you, Ariana, for the news in 90 seconds. And again, good morning, viewers. If you are now joining us, I am Natalie Seeley Richardson, and you are viewing Good Morning Tobago. Joining us next is Cordell McClure, Guyana correspondent and, of course, communications specialist. And Mr. McClure is no stranger to Tobago, having lived here for many years, but now back home in Guyana. So let's see if we get Mr. McClure on the line. Viewers, I also just want to advise you that where he is located, he's having a bit of some trouble with the connection, but we have him. Good morning, Cordell.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, good morning, Natalie. Good morning to all of Tobago.
Yes, and I was just telling our viewers that you are no stranger to us here in Tobago, having been Tobagonian for a while, yes?
Definitely.
So let's delve straight into the issue at hand. We know that international news, regional news, local news, the headlines are focused on Guyana. And a lot of us are keeping abreast of what's happening now. But where I want to start this conversation with you is, where did this start from? What's the historical context, that exists to bring us to this point between Guyana and Venezuela?
Well, it goes way back into our colonial days, in terms of the British and the Spanish and the control that they had over, these territories. In Venezuela got independence a very long time ago. And during that period, there was some issue, some controversy between our colonial leaders at that time in terms of the demarcation of the borders between Guyana and Venezuela. At that time, it was British Guyana. And after some discussion and the threat of war at that time, they took a decision to take the matter to international for arbitration. And at that time, 1899, that's how long ago it was, 124 years ago we're talking about, the arbitration settled the borders between Guyana and Venezuela. In fact, at that time, if the map of Guyana was much larger than it is now, but the arbitration fixed the borders between the two countries. And for quite a long time, probably about 60 years, Venezuela accepted that ruling, and it was ratified in the Venezuelan parliament. And it was settled more or less that these were the border. This is the border between Guyana and Venezuela. However, after about 60 years, someone in Venezuela determined that there was some misconduct during the arbitration, and so they would no longer accept that ruling, that 1899 arbitration award, and they revisited the issue of the borders between Guyana and Venezuela, and this particularly grew very serious during Guyana's transition to independence in 1966, or just before 1966. It's when the issue started, when it was announced that Guyana would become an independent nation. And that has been an issue since that time. Guyana has taken a lot of steps to resolve the issue, because it keeps popping up every now and again. And over a period of time, there was even a Geneva Agreement, which outlined the process that will be taken to resolve this dispute and the challenges that occur, that are existing between Guyana and Venezuela. And it outlined several processes which all failed, in terms of a good officer arrangement, having somebody to mediate and all of that. So the final approach that was taken was to approach the UN and for the determination of a final way to settle this dispute. And so that has now taken Guyana to the ICJ, which is the final court of jurisdiction to deal with these types of matters. So that's where we are now. Of course, you know that on Friday, Venezuela took a decision to go to the polls on Friday to determine that they will not recognize the ICJ and the ICJ's ruling or involvement in this matter, and to annex the Essequibo region from Guyana, which is literally total Guyana.
International world, so to speak, the question of even President Maduro's legitimacy to his leadership, and even in bringing the referendum to the people of Venezuela. I read in some of the international media reports that there was a low voter turnout, hardly anybody really went out to vote. However, the government did present that 95% of the people of Venezuela voted for this referendum. And it's interesting to know that a country can decide to do this. And you would have explained the historical context, which I really appreciate, and I hope our viewers, because for many younger persons, even older ones, they may not realize the historical context, and this is something that's ongoing. However, there has been protocols put in place, there has been treaties put in place, and a process outlined if there is a dispute. Now, you are on the ground in Guyana. What's the feel like, getting up one day, seeing this in the news, someone coming to take your land from you? How is that, coming across to the people there?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a nice place to be, knowing that your territorial integrity or sovereignty is being challenged.
Right.
It's tense for everybody in Guyana at this time. We understand that Guyana is just about 800,000 people. Venezuela has 30 million. Our army has generally been involved in primarily peacekeeping. We have not been a country that has gone to war before. Obviously, our army is not at the level of the Venezuelan army, and when you also understand the geography of Guyana and Venezuela, and you look at the border locations, it is very difficult to monitor and to secure that entire border because of the terrain. It's a lot of forested areas, and so it's difficult. So when you take all of that into consideration, there is some bit of anxiety, which is understandable, some bit of anxiety, some bit of tension, but I think the resolve is there, and we are all hoping that it will be a peaceful resolution and lives will not be lost in this matter.
Right. Now, in 2015, of course, there was a great or an increased discovery of oil in Guyana, and subsequent to that, again, media reports would have identified the Venezuelan government building airstrips, maybe getting a bit closer to the Essequibo River or getting closer to the border, your border between Guyana and Venezuela. Now, people may say it's obvious, but I must ask you, in your opinion, what do you think really drove the action of President Maduro to claim 2/3 of your country?
Well, I mean, the claim has been around for a while, but Maduro, Venezuela goes to general elections next year.
Yes.
And I mean, based on all indications, a lot of Venezuelans are not in support of re-electing Maduro, and he's just trying to whip up whatever support he can. And, politicians generally look for something that can trigger support, trigger interest, trigger solidarity. And I believe that that's what he's doing. He's just hoping that, he can use the Essequibo, which is a sensitive issue in both countries, to generate some type of support. But I mean, it's a very dangerous game to play. One of the things that you have to also take into consideration, following the Venezuelan crisis, economic crisis, a lot of Venezuelans came across the border to Guyana. It is anticipated there are probably about 30,000 Venezuelans living in Guyana, a lot of them in the Essequibo region as well. And any threat to Guyana in terms of war also affects Venezuelans living here.
Right.
But also importantly, I speak with Venezuelans all the time, and most of them have indicated, their disagreement with the approach. They have families back in Venezuela, and they are also in disagreement, and which is reflected in the low voter turnout. And I believe that this is going to work more against Maduro, even his international support, than he's hoping for.
Right, and it's really important, even for us as a a country, Trinidad and Tobago, to keep abreast of what's happening. You know, we are geographically pretty close to Venezuela. I mean, Guyana is one of our Caribbean sisters as well, being members in CARICOM and other regional institutions. So, you know, we are keeping abreast of what's going on. And I also want to just piggyback. You mentioned in terms of your country's regiment, your army. And international reports would have also mentioned, I think I heard an interview with your president, President Ali, speaking about the cooperation between the U.S. military. Can you speak to that as well?
Yeah, well, first of all, let me say that, you know, there are three approaches Guyana has taken to this matter. The first approach is that, you know, we're going to explore all options for peace and a peaceful resolution. Guyana has also approached the ICJ for final settlement so that it will be, you know, indicated once and for all that this is the border and this is what the border that we will recognize as a world. But then Guyana is also looking towards the international partners for support, particularly military support, because obviously, as I said before, you know, Guyana army, it's really, to be honest, it's not a match for Venezuela, but we have got pretty much good commitments from a lot of the international partners, allies, Brazil, the U.S., and you know, several other countries have pledged commitment in terms of ensuring that Guyana's sovereignty remains intact. How that translates, we're going to have to wait and see. But I know that the U.S. Army presently has a team in Guyana that has been working with the Guyana Army, and there's been a lot of exchanges with the Brazilian Army as well. So, you know, that's the type of support that Guyana will have to lead on to ensure that, you know, our territorial integrity remains intact.
And can you also speak a bit, you know, you'd have mentioned how the people of Guyana are feeling, and it's obvious that there would be some tension and maybe even some concern. How are your government leaders dealing with it? Are you hearing from the opposition? Is there disagreement in terms of the way forward in the world of the politics? How is that, you know, progressing?
Well, it's not often that you see the government and the opposition on the same page in many countries, you know, and unfortunately the government and the opposition have been, you know, singing the same song. In fact, they went to Parliament to, you know, make a statement that, you know, they're supporting each other, and the opposition supports the government's position and Guyana's position rather on this issue. In fact, yesterday the opposition leader made you know, some statements pertaining to the recent decisions by the Venezuelan government and so forth. But I think both the government and opposition, they have been pretty active, and the statements have been made, and the country is being updated, you know, very, very often. The government has also been moving around, particularly in the Essequibo region as well, just to reassure residents that, you know, they are safe. And there's no need to panic. And, you know, one of the biggest challenges right now is to be able to get people to stick with the official sources of information.
Right.
Because, you know, during a time of crisis, you know, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of misinformation there. You know, false videos being shared and all of that happening. And so the government has been really encouraging people, don't just look on Facebook and see a post, but look at the official government sites, look at the sites of the Guyana Defense Force and the Department of Public Information for official information.
Right, and I must say, you know, thank you, Cordell, for your time and for shedding some more information and even light on this issue, this border dispute between Venezuela and Guyana. And from us here, we just want to wish the people of Guyana safety, and we really hope that this dispute is resolved and things can go back, you know, to usual business in Guyana. So thank you again for joining us, Cordell.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
All right, viewers, so now it's your time to share the live, share the live, share the live.
can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs. Carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
Welcome back, viewers. You are viewing Good Morning Tobago, and joining me this morning on set is Mr. Brendan Gray, the branch manager of Tattle Insurance in Tobago. Brendan, good morning.
Good morning to you. It's a pleasure being here.
And it's always good to have you visit us on Tobago Updates. Now, this morning we want to have a conversation around pre-owned vehicles and transferring ownership. And you know, sometimes in societies where we are very familiar with each other, there are some things we think we can deal with later on. So let's start our conversation. You know, I have purchased a pre-owned vehicle, but I'm familiar with the person and we just haven't got around to transferring the ownership of that vehicle. And what are the implications of me doing such?
No, it's a lot of implications, legal and otherwise. But before I get there, I think I need to share with our viewers the fantastic job that your team has been doing informing Tobago. I was also involved in the media business, where I was the chairman of Tobago News for quite a while.
Yes.
You know, and we built an organization. So I know what you're doing is a fantastic job informing the public, and I must commend you on that. Yes, there are a lot of implications, a lot of challenges. Let me
interrupt you, because I'm now thinking, before we get to the implications, how about we talk about the process? You know, let's talk about the process. What should I do, you know, to get to that point?
To that point.
Yes.
Oh, that's a fantastic question. Yes, the first thing you need to do is do not pay for the vehicle until the owner of the vehicle agrees to transfer the vehicle to you. That must be the first thing done. If even when you're exchanging the funds or the cash or the check or whatever for the vehicle, that should be done at the licensing office, where you pay the money and receive the transfer form.
Okay.
It's an exchange.
Okay. So it should be done like almost simultaneously at that point of the
same time of the sale. The transfer should be done at that point.
I wonder how many of us did that or will do that.
We in the insurance industry, and I'm speaking of the industry as the president of the chapter here in Tobago. We in the insurance industry have been in a lot of trouble, a lot of problems with owners some owners even, pre-owners will even try to sell the insurance with the vehicle, so the person could use the vehicle and the insurance at the same until the expiry of that and so on. That is illegal.
Okay.
It is illegal. You cannot sell insurance. The only person to sell insurance is the insurance company.
Right.
You know, so I am pleading on people, and let me share with you before I go on to that. So you sell the vehicle, that insurance was sold to the owner, the previous owner. that person should come to the insurance company and have a refund done.
Okay.
That other individual has to come to the insurance and then submit their documents, because the risk assessment is to be done at the insurance company, not you, the owner, who has no rights, no legal to sell it. You see? So I'm saying what should be done before the money, because when you pay the money or the check to the owner and they go on off, they forget you.
Right. You're on your own.
You're on your own. Right. And the vehicle is not transferred, it's not belonging to you. No. So let's go to the certificate.
Right.
That certificate is issued as the birth certificate of that vehicle.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Everything about the vehicle is in that certificate. The chassis number, the engine number, the color, everything is in that certificate. So it's a birth certificate for that vehicle. And it must follow the owners.
Right.
The challenges we have, one of the challenges, and I'll go along with some of the challenges, is that the person who come to the insurance company seeking now insurance, because you now have to get insurance for the vehicle when that illegal sale was made in terms of the selling of the vehicle. Right. You know, the new owner who believes they're not owning because
you don't have that transfer certificate in your name.
That's right.
Okay.
So you come to the insurance company to apply for insurance. You cannot get insurance. The insurance company will not give you insurance without that certificate because it's not in your name.
Okay. So you have to prove ownership.
I have to prove ownership in order to get insurance. Mm-hmm. Some of us, we do it, but we say we're going to give you a limited period to go get your insurance. Okay. Get the certificate, get the changes done, and so on. Case maybe, and get the certificate.
You may issue insurance in that case for like what? A month, 2 months?
A month, 2 months.
Okay.
As the case might be. And you go and you get the transfer done and so on, and then you come back and we then will give you the remaining insurance, or we'll do a new insurance based on what the circumstances are.
Right.
But primarily to get insurance. The problem we find is that they cannot find the person who you purchased the vehicle from.
Right.
On most instances.
Right.
And if you cannot find the person that you purchased the insurance, the vehicle from, you are putting yourself in a lot of trouble.
Right. Because monies would have been exchanged, that previous owner is gone.
And gone.
And I've even heard of, and I think sometimes we really get ourselves in trouble unnecessarily, because I've even heard where the vehicle may have passed through more than one hand. So by the time it gets to me, I might be the third owner, but it's in that first owner's name. So even that person I'm purchasing that vehicle from, the ownership is not in his or her name.
Exactly, and that's where we're going. They're not even the 3 or 4 owners. Sometimes the person die.
Wow.
And what happened?
Right.
The person you purchased, the 3 or 4 owners before, the first owner died. And you cannot get the insurance for that vehicle again. You have to pack up.
Right. So viewers, before we even continue, I want us to really understand this. So you are purchasing a pre-owned vehicle, make sure you get that vehicle in your name. It could be from your auntie, it could be from your uncle, your neighbor who you're good with. Don't exchange that money unless you know that vehicle is in your name, because we are learning from Mr. Gray, that this is something serious. And you don't want to make headlines because you make a mistake like that, right? So let's really get our act together, because when we get in trouble, sometimes we blame everyone else, but let's be responsible and do what we need to do.
The licensing office is a bit sometimes a little tardy in terms of bringing up the changing the name.
Because we would also hear horror stories on that side.
There's some little tardiness there. So once you have the receipt that you've paid for the transfer, that means that all the documentation went into the insurance to the licensing office.
Right.
So you have the receipt that you paid for the transfers. Some insurance companies will use that for the temporary insurance.
Right.
And it would be easier now for you to go back to the licensing, the vehicle insurance, the
Insurance
authorities,
right,
to get their certificate in your name.
Because the process
was started.
Right.
So that is something that you can do. The other horror story is not that too. It's when there's an accident, that's when the horrors begin.
Right.
There's a lot of horror there. When the insurance, you have, if you see, and it will take two sides, supposing it's a comprehensive cover,
right,
or if it's a third-party cover. Both have implications, both. With the comprehensive, the payment that would have been made, that if there's, just in case it was for 2 months or 3 months, the case might be, the payment cannot be made in the present owner's name.
Okay.
It has to be made in whole name on the certificate of insurance.
Okay. Yeah. So this is really important. And it's one of the steps we always think we can come back to, because I have the vehicle, I paid the person their money, the vehicle is now mine as far as I'm concerned, because there's an exchange of money.
Yes.
But we really have to be more responsible.
Exactly. And the third party case, same problem. Who will report? You run into someone, you run into a BMW, for instance, and someone got injured in the BMW, just in case. And you come to make the claim to the insurance company. The insurance company say, I don't know who you are.
Right.
The person on the certificate. Or just suppose you didn't have insurance at all. You take the insurance from the previous owner, say, look, use the insurance until it's run out. The insurance will say, but I don't know who you are. You are not person.
Right, yes. Because that's another common practice.
Exactly.
Right?
It's the wrong person. Now, the implications doesn't end there.
Right.
You run into the BMW. The BMW repairs is 100,000. The person who injured, they're gonna come at you for their claim.
Yes.
That is another 200,000-300,000. Right. So you have $400,000. They're coming at you, the driver.
Right.
Because the insurance company will not honor the claim.
Right.
Because the person who now owns the car, purportedly, was not the person I insure.
Right, the documentation is not in order.
Exactly. So if you have a house, that gone.
Right, yeah.
If you have land, that gone. Because they would have to pay the people claim.
Yeah, we seldom think of the implications of our simple actions. Again, we live in this society where we know each other and we take a lot for granted. Because even I've heard also of instances where I have a friend who bought a car and they were having problem with the previous owner to do that transfer for whatever reason. She wasn't making herself available, and and now I'm thinking maybe the documentation may not even been on her name as well. So we really have to get our act together.
Make sure and be clear. No, not even that. People are buying cars, transferring the money online.
Right, yes.
Without seeing the car, without seeing the person.
Right.
And when they do find out that it's a bogus transaction, bogus transaction.
So what would you advise? I mean, you have, straight off the beginning of this interview, you said, don't exchange that money unless you know who the owner is, and at that point of exchange, make sure you are doing it, whether it's at the license office, so you start that transfer process. How do you really get your clients to understand the importance of this? Is there, you know, education programs? I mean, this is one, of course.
Well,
You're reaching out.
It's
You're
because
reaching
of-
out to us.
That's right. It's because of the number of instances that we are seeing, the data that I'm seeing coming into my office,
Right.
the information that I'm seeing coming into my office, the calls that I'm being receiving from individuals about this factor, this is a same matter.
Yeah.
I believe that it is time that I come out to the public.
Right.
And the best place to do that is at
Tobago updates, definitely.
So I think that it's important that we take note of our business. We are we are living, and you cannot lose 200,000, 100,000 because you purchase a car.
Yes.
And it is laid up because, and not only online, people leave Tobago and go to Trinidad and buy vehicles all over Trinidad.
Right.
And when they leave Trinidad without that transfer, now it's difficult to get the document done.
Yep.
So one other issue is that you can go to the license office with pick up the transfer documents. When you're going to make your purchase, carry the document with you.
Okay.
So you can get the person to even sign the documents prior to paying for the thing.
Because you, again, you know, there's an intent for sale, so there's a contract
That's right.
there.
Yes.
And, you know, let us, as they say, line up our ducks in a
That's
row.
right.
Yes.
Even if you don't go to the licensing office to do the payment and so on, there are documents at the licensing office that needs to be signed by the other person. Take a copy of their driver's permit too. So you take the documents, a copy of the driver's permit, to make sure that the name on the certificate that they will give you, because you should not purchase a vehicle without a certificate of insurance in your presence.
The certificate of ownership.
Certificate of ownership.
Yes.
The certificate of ownership must be, when you're going to pay for the vehicle, you must have a copy of the certificate of ownership.
Right.
So you know the person you're purchasing the vehicle from is the person that you're dealing with.
Right.
So you take a copy with your phone.
Yes.
Take a picture of the ID or their driver's permit along with you before handing the money over.
So if it is I am in the process of making that purchase for that pre-owned vehicle or second-hand, as we may call it, and I get a copy of that certificate of ownership, and I know I was dealing with John, and I see Mary's name on the certificate, what's my next move?
You're paying the money to the wrong person.
So what should I do? I have not paid that money yet, but I asked for the certificate and I realize it's Mary's name on it. What should I do now?
Well, somehow you go to the police.
Right.
Because it means the vehicle must be stolen.
Right. And that's another, you know, that's a very important thing you mentioned there, Mr. Gray, because, I mean, vehicles are selling at a much faster rate, be it new vehicles, second-hand. For some people who are buying the old foreign used cars, you know, you pay a 20,000. For some people, that's nothing. And whether they bring it cash or whatever, and they say, well, okay, give me the vehicle, I can bring your money. And we go our separate ways. So viewers, again, very important to make sure that we do the right thing, understand there are implications, and it can just become so stressful.
Yeah, but there's so the vehicle is Mary. That's one issue, and it's go to push.
Right.
But people have been purchasing foreign used vehicles, and you cannot sell a foreign used vehicles before a certain time.
Okay.
And all of that is important for you to understand.
Yes. Because I did not realize that law was still on the books.
Yes,
okay.
You cannot sell a foreign used vehicle before a certain number of years, in order to make sure that you're not competing with the foreign used.
Okay, yes, right. So you didn't bring in the vehicle just for resale, yes.
For sale.
Right, as an individual.
That's right.
Okay, got you.
All of those implications are involved.
Right.
When you purchase a vehicle.
Right.
And I would like for people to be observant. A lot of people have been lost a lot of money.
Right.
Because, as I said earlier, they have transferred money to people's account without seeing the vehicle, without seeing the person sometimes. There's a lot of implications out there. And I think I hope that this morning's program would make people aware of some of the responsibilities and some of the things that they are involved in when they're purchasing second-hand pre-owned vehicles, you know, and we go forward from here.
Yeah, because even the issue of driving without insurance, I mean, our main discussion really surrounds that transfer of ownership. And again, it's so important because we take all these things for granted. But even, you know, driving without insurance.
Yes,
you know.
that is another whole dimension of
right. So that's
so
you're gonna have to come back.
No,
to
no,
discuss.
I would start. I can start because I feel that I would share this with you.
Yes.
This morning, say with my customers, with our viewers. We have several things. One day, someone who was a long-standing person, one of our customers, lent the vehicle to their aunt, to their nephew,
right,
to drive,
right,
to go down the street for something, and soon after that, ran into a businessman and his vehicle. Mash up the vehicle.
Right.
Gentleman had something like 15 surgeries to correct broken leg and arms and so on. And so made the claim. The limit on our policy for that kind of thing is $3 million. So we paid our $3 million to the businessman because he was something, and the vehicle loan was just about $700,000, and the rest was but he did not. Everything was not corrected. So I don't know what the excess is. Could be anything like another 500, 600,000. That person either had to pay that out of their pocket, or the court will take away their property.
Yes, because the cost has to be covered.
It has to be paid.
You know, and I want us to stick up in our conversation right here as we go for a break. So remember, it's your turn to share the live, share the live, share the live. That's right.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Christmas, speed is on us. Get up to 300 megabits per second of speed with our new Link Up Plus plan. Enjoy more speed, more channels, and free streaming for less. Plus, introducing Link Up More with up to 1 gig download speed. Download, stream, video call, share memes, and more. Get free installation when you sign up in-store or online today at discoverflow.co.
Christmas we celebrating, cause B-Mobile they coming with rating. So brace yourself for plenty prices, cause this season will be pure nice. It's the most deals and the most vibes and the most cars and the most price, the most giveaways, the most parang. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile. I want a Christmas season with B-Mobile. Bring the sorry, we toast to a Merry Christmas. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
Top up, buy a plan, sign up, or pay your bills. Enjoy the best Tobago Christmas. B-Mobile. Life is on.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments, complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Welcome back, viewers, and thank you for staying with us. I am Natalie C.D. Richardson, and you are viewing Good Morning Tobago, and we are coming live from the Port Mall located in Scarborough, Tobago, and as we say, the greatest little island on the planet. I continue chatting with Mr. Brendan Gray, who is the branch manager of Tattle Insurance, and we are going to talk more about just insurance in general, because I think it's so important that you really came to share with us, because even hearing you speak about, you know, the importance of having that transfer certificate or that process started at the point of exchange of money for that sale. You know, I would have had a pre-owned vehicle, and I don't think I even did it that way. It worked out well for me because it was done, but it wasn't done at that particular point in time. So I just want to say, you know, thank you, and I know our viewers are definitely learning. Let's shift gears a bit and let's talk about, you know, the whole process. So I would have done everything I'm supposed to do. So now I'm in your office. And let me just add that Mr. Gray has been in insurance for well over 40 years. So I consider him an expert. So you're getting free consult services here on Tobago Updates. All right. So pay attention, take your notes. If you have a question, maybe you could drop it in. He may not be able to answer it because remember, we're talking about things broadly here. Everybody may have a different situation and it may change what happens in your situation. But just talk about in general the process to have a vehicle insured.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for the question. I think we have a little challenge there. When people come to the office, they're not aware of all the documentation that that needs to be presented. Well, let's start from we are subject to the central bank, where they are our overseers.
Okay.
Yeah. We respond to them. And recently, 2 years ago, the Insurance Act was changed. So we have a new Insurance Act that we have to comply with certain issues, very serious issues. And we, you know, before you could have done a lot of other things and so on. Now, we call the act a draconian act because of the kind of breaches that and jail and monies that has to be paid in terms of if you breach any of the conditions and any of the terms in the act. So we have to comply.
Right.
And so when you come to the company, any one of the companies, a certificate of insurance for the vehicle, your IDs and or utility bills in your name and must be brought to the company along, well, the certificate of insurance will say who owns the vehicle.
Right.
The IDs will say that you are that person or your utility bill. So you have two forms of IDs. Either two forms of IDs, which include your address on one, which is your driver's permit, has your address, or a utility bill. Those documents must be presented in order for the insurance for us to comply with the act, based on what was brought in it. So those are the documents you bring. You now have to complete some forms at the company. One which would be called the KYC, which is Know Your Customer, which has to be done at the banks because we are part of the financial sector.
Okay.
So the same things you do at the banks to open an account, only at the banks are a little more stringent.
Right.
Yeah, you had to need your navel string at the bank. You don't need navel string by us.
Yeah. But sometimes, Mr. Gray, we feel so, because, and let me just, it's a pet peeve for me, and I've heard others talk about it, although we're talking about that initial process to insure, but even for renewal, you explained now that it's part of the law, but why every time I have to renew my vehicle insurance, I have to bring the utility bill? You got it last year, you got the IDs last year, why it is I have to bring it again and again? Where's my information going? Who has access to it?
Exactly my point, and don't think that we are trying to argue with the central bank. The same point.
Right.
Through our association. We are trying to ensure that is not necessary. Once it's the same person, it has not been transferred. We are arguing that point.
Because I understand the initial part of it, because you have to prove and exercise due diligence. But I've been your customer for the last 10 years, last 15 years.
Exactly.
Even if you ask me to do it once every 5 or 10 years, just to update. But every year.
I'm telling you, I'm saying to you, we are arguing that's the insurance association.
Right.
And people feel as though it's Tatil alone in this matter. Right. No, we have a fraternity, which is our insurance association for the insurance companies. We also have an association for the life insurance operations and for agents. Fortunately, at this time, I am the president of the association for agents in Tobago, which is called TIFA, the Trinidad and Tobago Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors. So we have togetherness, so we articulate on behalf of each other with the various authorities. So it's not that we are competing in that manner. We try to make sure that what John does, Mary does, so same thing, we present with one voice. Yes. So the insurance companies are not arguing and quarrel among themselves, but they have competition among themselves.
Yes,
banter is important.
Yes, of course.
But basically we present one face to the authorities and our associations. So, back to your point, it is important. We're trying to get the central bank or the regulators to understand that, yes, this is a thing that we could roll back some bit in terms of requirements, but they ask us to do it every year.
Right.
Every year we need to present your documentation, and we have people living outside in the United States. And this only came because of the purchasing of goods outside of and what you call it, so somebody bringing in money to the company without trying to fraudulently change money,
so
laundering and so on. So that is why that is so, money laundering.
And sometimes we think we have all this time, but our time is coming to an end. And I just want you to probably share very quickly, outside of not having that ownership, that certificate of ownership, what are maybe one or two other issues that can pop up to prevent me from getting my vehicle insured with a company?
Well,
or is that the main thing?
That, and if you've been having accidents.
Okay.
If you've been having accidents, you come from another insurance company, you do not have a no claim discount. Because what you need to do, if you're moving insurances around, move from insurance to insurer, you need to walk with your renewal notice. That renewal notice is going to tell a lot of stories to the incoming insurance company, what is happening with you at that previous insurance company. So that renewal notice will say, do I have no claim discount or no claim discount, as the case might be? You walk with that. So renewal notice will tell
So,
that.
so if I'm having all those fender benders, I'm not at a risk for the company.
That's right. You're sending a message that you're not someone, you do not drive with caution, in other words, because accidents will happen, but it must be an accident.
Yes.
It must not be something deliberate.
Right.
And if you are driving that way and you're causing accident, it means you are doing something deliberately, and no insurance company will want to keep you. And that's primarily what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, we live in a very interesting society, Mr. Gray. I could tell you, well, the police say so, but it's not my fault. And I will sit there and I will try to convince you.
They would not take your insurance because there's an offer and acceptance.
Right.
Sometimes, you know, you can rate the person up or down, as the case might be, depending on certain factors. You know, but basically, if it is that the person doesn't have a no-claim discount, it says a message, sends a message.
Okay.
You may have one accident, you know, and yes, it's not your fault. It's not a no-blame insurance, not a no-claim discount. It's not a no-blame discount.
Okay.
It's a no-claim discount.
I got you. Right.
You see?
Yes.
So those are some of the factors. Yeah.
You know, and of course, viewers, I really hope you listened to Mr. Gray and would have learned. And of course, we know he will be back sometime as he continues his education drive to ensure that we exercise due diligence. We understand, you know, this whole insurance process, so it will make it a lot easier for us. You know, I want to thank you this morning for taking time out from your schedule. I know you have a lot on your plate. I'm sure you're heading to the office straight away to get behind that desk and get some work done. So we thank you so much for your time.
I want to say it's a real pleasure. Every time it's a pleasure coming and seeing. As I said, you are doing a fantastic job here at Tobago Update. And whenever I'm out of the country, wherever I'm at, I tune into the Tobago Update to get the information.
Yes, because Tobago Updates keeps the current affairs of this island, Trinidad, and the rest of the region in focus. So this is definitely the place to be.
And I want to echo your statement earlier. The greatest little island on the planet.
Definitely, right here. You know, viewers, our time is just about up, and I want to thank you for staying with us this morning on Good Morning Tobago. I wish you a beautiful day. Some of you, I know where you are, it might be cold, it might be raining, it might be sunny. Whatever and however it is, it's your day. Seize it, make the best of it. I am Natalie Seeley Richardson, and thank you for being with us right here on Tobago Updates Television. So until next time, and remember to have a Christmas season with Be Mobile.
Good morning, Tobago. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to